Welcome to Land Academy. This is the Cash Flow from Land Show. We show you how to buy real estate for half of what it's worth
and sell it on the internet really fast.
I'm Jack Butala.
I'm Jill DeWit. We are Jack and Jill, and this is the Jack and Jill Show 2.
With over 15,000 completed transactions, we're the experts at acquiring property
Of all kinds, not just land.
for half price and flipping them for way more.
All right, let's get this show started.
Jack Butala with Jill DeWit.
Howdy.
Welcome to our show. In this episode, Jill and I talk about how and why your imagination is imperative as a real estate investor. What the heck? I thought I was supposed to be stern and
A machine.
and just do
Efficient.
Yes.
One-word answers.
What imagination? Great show today, Jill. Let's take a question first before we get into it, posted by one of our members on successplan.com, our free online community.
Okay. Ron asked, Jack or others, on a recent podcast, you extolled the virtues of using mixed mailers, like picking more than one county, for your letter campaigns, but you said that it was a level 3 strategy. Hope I got the terms down correct
You
there.
nailed it. Ron, you nailed it.
Implying that you do not recommend that in your first couple of mailers. Seems like a great strategy anytime. What is the downside to picking 2 or 3 counties in your first few direct mail campaigns, assuming you are pulling a list of 1,500 or more?
There's 2 downsides, and this is an excellent question. I'm super glad you asked it. The first downside is that I want you to be super familiar on how to do a mail merge. It seems easy. There's a ton of ways to get educated about it. One of them is through us. I walk through it in Chapter 5 in great detail, right down to the last detail on how to do a mail merge. But if you're going to take 3 mail merges, let's say you want to do 3 counties and put them into one, it's going to complicate things. So, but if you're Mr. Mail Merge, Ron, and that you're not afraid of that, and you're scoffing at this, saying, I can do a mail merge in my sleep, then this doesn't apply to you.
I love it.
Number 2, and maybe more importantly, now you have 3 county officials instead of 1 set of county officials that you have to make friends with. You have 3 places to call when people call back. Maybe you need to talk about the planning and zoning. You need to get to know 3 people there. So if none of this scares you, if you're just like, come on, man, I can do this stuff over and over. I've done it 50 times. Then Ron, you are a level 3 strategy out of the box. But most people, I just think that, especially, here's my concern. If we complicate it up front, you're going to get discouraged. It's going to take too much time, and you're not going to do it. I want you to have a great first experience. I want you on your first mailer to do 1 deal, get it all out of your system, make a million mistakes, do it all wrong. I don't want you to lose money, but what we hear often, Jill and I hear is, man, I did great on this, and I sold it, but boy, I guess if I did it this way, I could have made more. So they never say, or they usually don't say, I lost any money. But man, next time, I'm going to do this, this, and this. That is the experience I want you to have.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I want it to be easy, not easy, but I mean, like Jack said, don't overcomplicate it. I want you to go, all right, I did it. I got this. I invested only whatever your budget is. I doubled it. I figured it out. Oh yeah, I had to send it back to the recorder. We got something goofed up. I learned that one. And then you can be on your way. Love it.
One of our 3 kids is incredibly intelligent.
One? Only one?
Hint.
Only one?
It's a she. Our number 1 kid, the girl, I sat down with her counselor. Jill and I sat down with her counselor when she was in high school. She's long gone from high school now. And he said this, and it stuck with me. It'll stick with me forever. Because she had a long list of advanced placements courses that she qualified for. And he said, and looked at us and said, in very plain English, why the hell are you going to put this kid in all these advanced placement courses? What, just to cause problems for her? Mm-hmm. She's not going to get into college any better. And if she does she want to go to that school? Why doesn't she just show up at school in the regular classes, get an A, have a good experience, learn some stuff, maybe help some of the other kids, get to know the teacher? That's what I want. That's the same thing here.
That's a very good point.
If you're capable of doing level 3 stuff, congratulations. But let's just stick to level 1 for. What it means to me is you're going to advance way faster. But let's put 1 foot forward.
That's true. Don't try to overcomplicate it for yourself. Yeah. So
I want you to get out of it and say, man, I learned a lot. That was way easier than I thought. I'm going to kill it on this next one.
Ron's going for this is AP investing.
Yeah. Advanced placement, cause yourself some problems investing.
Ron, Brad, you know what? Here's the deal. Ron, you officially qualified and are able to take the AP class. Don't take it. Go for the A.
Here's the truth.
Go for the easy A.
We do mailers now. You know, we do them to 12 to 15 to 20 counties all at the same time. I personally do still to this day. We do not outsource this, and I don't have my employees do it. I pull the data, I analyze it, I do the mail merge myself, and run it to the printer through their whole printing scenario myself. Mm-hmm. And that is something I will probably never outsource.
Mm-hmm. My favorite my way is what I coach people is we got this county down. I figured it out. I played with some different sizes. Great. Now I'm going to add another layer on top. Now I'm going to merge this one in.
That's perfect.
All right. Now I got the hang of these two, and I can jump back and forth, and I know how they operate over here, and I know how they operate over here. I'm going to now add a third layer on top. And then as you're doing it, I think one of the reasons people is they want to have their sell side, have their website look like they have a variety of properties. I get that.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't mention that. That's perfect. It's easier to sell different county property than one county.
Mm-hmm. So, but still start slow, and that's okay. This could only be a month take 1 month, and then another 1 month, add another layer and another county and another layer on the next month, and then go from there and there and there.
Jill and I are contemplating doing a very large apartment building transaction because the land thing runs in the background and it's doing great. And the house thing, same thing. Wholesaling houses. We're looking at doing a very large apartment deal, and we're not looking at doing 3.
Right.
Just
That's
one.
True.
It's not my first commercial deal by any stretch, but this is just a little bit different. The players are different, and there's renovations and stuff involved. And I would never I only would ever and will ever take on a project like that where everything's all of our other stuff is all just running itself. And we need to spend only a couple hours a day, like for recording this and doing, making the basic decisions about what to buy and sell. Mm-hmm. We could, Jill, I thought about this early today. If we really sat down, everything that we do, we could do it in about 2 hours. And that's if there's anything like unusual that comes up. Mm-hmm. Just the routine, regular stuff. Okay. About 2 hours a day, 5 days a week each. Don't you think? That's pretty freaking amazing, actually.
It really is.
So I wonder why. Well, the reason I was having a conversation with myself. I wonder why we tend to work. I think it's maybe just me, not you. Why we just tend to work a lot more than 2 hours a day. It's not for lack of wanting to do fun stuff.
Well, part of it is I enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah, me too.
Well, here's what happens. I don't know if this is where you wanted this to go, but I'll tell you. I really love what I do, and I kind of get sucked into projects, and then it's actually it's almost like a hobby for me. So that's what happens to me. I could be out goofing off, but I have to tell you, I like looking at maps and looking at properties and talking to people and helping things, and I do stop at people's desks that I shouldn't and get into little things because I enjoy it.
Thank you that you do that, because I don't.
I do. Well, now you know why. There's my excuse. What's your excuse? Well, you know what? I think in a very healthy way, Jack, your hobby is research.
Yeah. I just love being on a computer.
Yeah.
We're done with, when there's not something to do outside, we're not like riding our bikes to the beach or whatever. I'm on the computer doing cool stuff, putting together other projects that have to do other things.
It's true.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway, we should try it too. Try new stuff. We should try a 2-day work, 2 hour for 5 days, one time.
I'm in. Starting today.
It might just might become a habit.
Yeah, hurry up. Let's get this over with. Just kidding.
Today's topic is your imagination is imperative as a real estate investor. I have a feeling that Jill has a lot to say about this, and I'm really, really glad. This is the meat of the show. What do you think, Jill? Is your imagination imperative, not necessary, not optional? Is it imperative as a real estate investor? I think so.
Absolutely. It's not like this is not there's a lot of steps to this that are A to B to C, but there's a lot of variables in there. And there's a lot of things that you've got to see and feel and know and trust, in this whole process. One way that I'm thinking about using your imagination that I have been completely impressed by our members is on the sell side. I am constantly seeing more fantastic and beautiful postings and videos and visions, and some of our people, and you know what it is? They're getting so excited, like we talk about being excited about what you're doing, and they're putting together these incredible videos and describing these things about what people can do for the property. It's hard not to watch that video and be so excited and want to buy it. Like, oh, wow, guy, I really do see myself there. It's like staging a house. You know what I mean? They're staging their property and they're using their imagination, and it makes selling just easy.
We don't teach doing videos. I've mentioned it a few times. I think it's always a good idea.
Mm-hmm. We talk about it.
We do videos,
right.
Not on every property. The ones we wholesale, we don't at all.
Right.
But I did a video. I put it on YouTube about a year ago on a couple 40-acre properties that we bought and sold, and it got like 4,000, which is a lot for us. Mm-hmm. 4,000 views pretty quickly, and
Back
to
then.
my surprise, our members go out there, they look at us as an example, and they do these videos. And I'll tell you right now, the videos that our top producers, our top members, they're way better than
Dude, they're
stuff
doing
I
like
ever did.
drone videos. I'm like, what the heck?
And they're not only doing the drone videos.
What?
They're taking that drone video and putting it into a video that they're narrating themselves, because they didn't go out there and do the drone themselves. They hired
Coolest
somebody.
thing.
I'm like, and what's happening? This guy's killing it. He's
Yeah.
selling these properties for $100,000 more.
Well,
He buys them.
And there you go.
That's why.
That's it. And
That's imagination. I didn't tell him to do that. He thought it was a good idea.
thank you. Bingo. There's a good point about imagination. Even with us, we did our darndest. We spent over 6 months putting together our whole Land Academy program, and we really tried to pour.
That's a result of our imagination.
Right. Well, that was our imagination. You're exactly. And we tried to pour everything that we could think of and imagine in there, and our people are taking that to another level.
Right.
And using their imaginations. Mm-hmm. It is so great. And I'm even learning, my favorite thing, it's like learning from your kids. I'm learning things from our members like, hey, that is a better way. I love it. I'm not embarrassed to admit that you came up with something better. It's going to happen. There's things that I know a lot about, and there's things that, so-and-so knows a lot about. And there you go.
Yeah, we have multiple products that we release and we roll into the membership, the Data to Doorstep membership, or Land Academy members. They're synonymous, and that's all because they come to us. Our members come to us and say, "Man, I really need to do X," and so then we come up with it. Like deedperfect.com is an easy way for people to generate deeds. So there's lots of stuff, lots of products that we have like that we keep rolling out. Mm-hmm. That's their imagination and our imagination. I don't know any other competitor, direct or indirect, that does that stuff. I mean, we're not even
just that. Just in dream up any kind of a thing, a cooking forum. I don't know, something like that. They don't do this. So.
Here's why I came up with the title of the show. Jill and I, as I mentioned earlier, and that's not what the show is about. It's about flipping apartment buildings, but we're considering doing an extremely large deal. For us, it is a commercial real estate deal. And we were talking to a maintenance guy in a building that we were walking through. And he told this story. And he told it from a first-person scenario where he said, I used to live in this building, and I watched the building across the street get purchased. I watched all the people get kicked out. And then I watched the new owner renovate the whole thing. Then I watched him move all the new people in at a much higher rental rate. And then I watched him sell the building. And I listened to this story with my jaw on the ground, and Jill and I are making eyes at each other the whole time. Mm-hmm. So I started to use my imagination. Mm-hmm. I said, wait a minute. And I didn't say this out loud, and I didn't even say it to Jill till Jill for about a week later. Mm-hmm. They're just flipping an apartment building. Mm-hmm. They're taking a building that's got, let's say for sake of an argument, 20 units, and each person's paying $1,000. But it's in a great rental location, and this one is. It's in a location where when someone finds an apartment and rents it, they feel lucky. They don't feel like they don't have to shop. When it's available, then everybody runs to try to get it. Mm-hmm. So this and that market's got that going for it. So here's a business model. Find a building that doesn't have a lot of debt on it, make a cash offer because you have a private equity group or some huge investor in your back pocket, kick everybody out, pay them to leave, clean it up, and re-rent it for $2,000.
Yep.
Recalculate the cap rate and price it appropriately and sell it. The numbers are staggering. Yeah. It's hundreds of millions of dollars. It can be with the right deal.
Right.
And is it a lot of work? Like for, let's say, us? No.
Right.
That's the killer. Mm-hmm. Renovating a house is a lot of work. You got to stick around. But if you have a general contractor that deals this big, you're not involved at all. You don't even know where it is. Mm-hmm. So, and that is purely from some superintendent that Jill and I ran into on accident in a building we shouldn't have been walking through. Mm-hmm. And now that's got my wheels turning.
Yep.
And this is not new. People wonder why a lot of people in commercial real estate or real estate in general are driving fast cars and live in big houses.
Mm-hmm. Well, that ties into your imagination too. Like, you're really good at stating, let it find you. You know what I mean? A lot of people come into this world. They're not exactly sure what kind of property. They're kind of here learning the process, learning how it works, learning data. Some people think they want to do apartment buildings. Some people think they only want to do land. Some people want to do vacations. They want to do single family homes, whatever it is. And let it find you. And if you're open to it and you have an imagination, like you said, Jack, and this apartment story, it will find you.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yeah, 15 people could have heard that story. That half of them would have left because it was a pretty lengthy story.
It was a long story.
Yeah, half of them would have left.
We were both really intrigued. We're both like, I'm like, tell me more. Yeah.
So it's only because of the imagination, that any of that is even, I'm going to tap into the technical too. In fact, I'm going to do it now. This is a technical 2. It's 2 minutes of property investment advice from our 15,000 transaction experience. Right at the beginning of your real estate investment career, or if you're revamping it, like a lot of our members do, sit down with a theoretical blank sheet of paper or a blank computer screen and dream up what you want to happen. And I don't mean like, I want a car and a driveway and all. I don't mean that. I mean, what if I could contact every single person that was willing to give away or almost give away their real estate overnight and then execute it in a week? Like, dream it up like that. Use your imagination. Like you're 2 years old. What if I could fly? What if I could sell all the properties that are vacant under X amount on the MLS overnight? That's how all these things start. That's how they start for me. And a lot of it's unrealistic and silly, but it leads to good stuff.
Exactly.
If you have a question or you want to be on the show, call 800-725-8816. Jill's inspiration of the day, my favorite part.
Power through. If you do, you will probably be the only one that does. How many times it happens in our world all the time. People have all these ideas, right? And maybe these inspirations, and then they come up against some kind of a roadblock, and then they stop and they give up. And then that's the end of that. Why? I don't understand. Why? Find a way. Keep that motivation going. Power through. And you know what? Like I said, you'll probably be the only one that does. There's a lot of people that probably had that same idea, like our apartment building that Jack just talked about. There's probably a lot of people right now. There's probably a lot of people who are right now, wheels are turning and thinking about doing that. How many of you are really going to power through and get it done? I'm here to tell you, Jack is that person. And I'm here to tell you, sit tight. You're going to be hearing more about it, and you're going to get some details here because Jack, doesn't matter what it is. Jack doesn't let things stop him. He doesn't know how to. So good news, bad news. But no, it's all good news. I'm joking. Jack doesn't know how to stop. He powers through and he gets it done. And guess what? So on the back end, he's the only one that did. So make that you too. There's no reason you can't. It all comes from you and like Jack says, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, figuring out whatever the problem is, whatever you think's going, whatever's standing in your way, So what if it slows you down 2 days or 2 weeks to solve that problem and get through it? Maybe it was a financing problem. I don't know. Who cares? The numbers lined up so you know there's money out there. Whatever it is, power through and you'll get it done. Jack?
Well said.
Thank you. You want to add to that?
Thanks for the compliment. Power through is one way to use it. I just, and that is a compliment. Thank you.
Welcome.
I don't know any other way.
That's what I mean. It's good.
Yeah.
But you know what though? Here's the thing, Jack. I think you don't even realize that you've mentally trained yourself to that way. So now it's second nature.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, they've mentally trained themselves to stop when they hit an obstacle. They go, oh, well, this isn't for me. That's my red light. No. You can retrain yourself and power through and get to the level that you are at, Jack.
And I don't want to talk out about both sides of my mouth because you hear Jill and I say this all the time. Focus on an acquisition strategy and that's it. Do not veer from it. So I'm not veering from it. It's only because our land business for years has just been a machine. And our wholesale house business is a machine.
This is just adding another layer.
So this isn't like we're veering from our acquisition strategy. It's all happening. We're just adding it. Mm-hmm. And, maybe we get the first deal done. If we get the first deal done successfully, the people that are financing it and the contractor and the people who buy it, all they're going to do is beg for more. It's the same story. It's just like what we do with land and houses.
It's true. You do one right, and there's 10 more. Here they come.
Here's the key to this. This show is not about these apartments. The key to this is that, and what all of the people I just mentioned, the players, these huge players with deep pockets, they don't know how to buy undervalued real estate. And then they ask me in a meeting, how do you guys find these properties?
Right.
And I tell them, well, we send out offers everywhere. What do you mean you send out offers? We print out offers and we write a number in there and we say, if you want to sell this property at this number, call us. And they all look at each other and they don't believe us. And they say, okay, whatever. Exactly. Keep doing it. Why don't they run out of that meeting and do it themselves?
I have no idea. Well, they don't know how.
This has baffled me.
They don't know how.
This is kind of the after talk.
It is.
It baffles me that
I agree.
People don't listen to that sentence that I just said. Stop what they're doing and start making offers on real estate or cars or anything database driven,
right?
Or mobile homes or anything that's got a database to it. I'm not saying walk into a Walmart and start making half price offers on the stuff on the shelf. That's silly. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying I don't get it.
I agree.
There's some members that we have who get it. I'll tell you that.
Oh, gosh.
There's probably about 40 people. The group's getting pretty big now who they're obsessed with it like I am with these apartments.
Right. Exactly.
I used to be, obsessed. I conquered it. I guess I conquered the land thing. Now I want to move on. Conquer something else. I don't know. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Good inspiration, Jill. What was exactly the phrase?
Power through.
Power through, man.
I said it's...
If you're a surgeon,
power through, you'll be the only one who does.
Unless you're a surgeon doing surgery today, do not power through.
Don't power through that.
Take your time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You're driving a school bus with children in the back. Yes. Do not power through.
Yeah, that's fine. In fact, you should listen to some classical music if you're doing it.
That's right. Yeah, there's a whole other thing. Please don't be that surgeon that has I don't know what, a headbanging in the back. Can you imagine? You're getting surgery done and it's oh yeah. whole other topic.
Don't make it your last surgery.
Yeah. Gosh. Love it.
Join us in another episode where Jack and Jill discuss how to use information that's me
and inspiration that's me
to get just about anything you want, including apartment buildings.
We use it every day to buy all kinds of properties like the layer we're adding for a lot less than what it's worth and sell it immediately.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. Turns out neither am I. Good show, Jill.
Okay, so I'm trying to think of something funny.
We didn't even go off topic, I don't think, but go ahead.
Okay, so the surgeon thing is funny. I'm trying to think of what would be the funniest, I'm thinking punk, what if you had an Ozzy Osbourne obsessed surgeon? Oh
my gosh.
Well, here's another question.
You know that happens.
Okay, so what if I'm a nurse, okay, and I'm in the surgery? Am I going to eventually go, gosh darn it, I got to go do surgery with that guy again. I can't hear. I can't think straight. He's got He's got whatever it is turned up so darn loud. Do they do that?
I don't know. That's cool though.
I know. We see it on the movies. I'm wondering, I'm guessing.
Oh, they know. Do they listen to music?
Yeah,
Hell yes.
Okay, that really does happen.
All the time.
So what are they listening? You know what? How about this?
It's not pumping though.
Next time, or should there be a next time, if I'm involved in any surgery, that is going to be a question. Excuse me, by the way, while I'm under, what are you listening to? Because I really want to know.
I read somewhere recently, and you and I have actually talked about it, that there are certain levels of concentration that are enhanced by like music in the background and weird stuff going on. I know you're not one of these people. You do better when it's just quiet, but I very often listen to extremely loud music while I'm working with headphones, obviously.
Do you know what's interesting about that? You're right. I choose whatever client, deathly quiet. I can't talk here. When I'm in my own little world, and it's funny because anybody who's in my office with me, they're like, "Jeez, can I, pick up this paper?" But it's so quiet. Yeah. But however, you throw me in Starbucks. I was in Starbucks, the other day working, and I tune it out. I didn't even hear anything. Actually, I didn't even hear when they called my name. Eventually, at one point, I looked up and went, "Oh yeah, I have a nice coffee waiting over there." I kind of forgot about it.
That's great. So you were seriously concentrating.
I really seriously concentrate. I tune everything out, and I'm like, I don't even notice what time it is. What I noticed when it was time to go is it was getting warm in my seat because the sun had dropped to a certain level, and now the sun was blasting where I was sitting. I'm like, what time is it? So then I knew 2 hours had passed. So it's really funny.
Yeah, I mean, concentration's key. Mm-hmm. That's cool, man.
Thank you.
Information and inspiration. I was just concentrating. And I missed my cue to buy undervalued property.
We are Jack and Jill, and this was the Cash Flow from Land Show.
We are the experts at acquiring property
of all kinds, not just land,
for half price, just so we can flip it for way more.
And really fast. Thanks for listening. Let's go buy some property.
If you want to get involved or you need more information about our profitable, niche real estate operation, call 480-467-0359. You just might get Jill at the other end of the line.
Landacademy.com. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.